everyone, this is your daily dose of Nubstery. So today's gonna be a little bit different. Today, instead of playing the game, I'm just gonna tell you guys what makes Brawl Stars a special game to me. Like, why did I start playing it 4 or 5 years ago? And why do I still play it? Would I still play it if I wasn't making videos? I don't know how many of you guys have been playing Brawl Stars as long as I have. I literally downloaded it as soon as it was available. I watched the first ever live stream where all the past creators for Clash Royale tried out Brawl Stars in a little tournament. And ever since I saw that, I was like, yep, I'm gonna play this game. It looks incredible. And even back then, the game definitely does not look as good as it does now. So what exactly got me interested in the game and what made me continue to play it, especially for about 2 years where I made content that didn't get any results? Like, why did I continue playing the game? From my perspective, the first thing that I noticed was obviously like history and reliability, if that makes sense, because before I started playing Brawl Stars, I played Clash Royale, I played Clash of Clans, and even back then, before Brawl Stars came out, I wondered, what if they tried something even more unique? Because they did Clash of Clans where it's like you place troops down and you watch them, and then they also have Clash Royale where you technically place troops and then you watch them. So I was always wondering, like, Supercell really makes polished games, so like, what if they make a game that's completely different where you can control your character in one way or another, whether it's like this or whether it's a first-person shooter, and how good would they do with it? Like, is that really in their realm? And eventually, of course, Brawl Stars was announced, and I was like, oh, it's another Supercell game. We love Supercell games up in this high school, because that's who I played it with. I played it with a bunch of high school friends. And at the time when Brawl Stars came out, I didn't really have access to that many console or PC games because I didn't have a reliable internet connection. So all I had was my mobile data on my phone, so I could only play mobile games. So when Brawl Stars came out, that was like a godsend because I always wanted a really good and polished game to come out for my phone, so then I could at least play something more interactive on my phone. And all the other apps on the App Store at the time were, to me, really lackluster, and I didn't enjoy anything besides Supercell games. So yeah, I got Brawl Stars immediately and I was hooked right away. For the longest time, I thought that the portrait version of the game where you could aim in a really specific way, where overall the game was way more skill-based, I really clung on to that and I thought it was like the best version of the game. And I never felt that about a mobile game. Like, I never felt this sense of like reaction and aim in a mobile game before, but somehow Brawl Stars really nailed that, unlike any other mobile game I've played. Because like every other mobile game, like Call of Duty Mobile or something, has this auto aim where if you aim in the enemy's general direction, it just locks onto them. And especially at the time, Brawl Stars didn't have that at all. The game was completely skill-based. Later on, yeah, they added auto aim, but you still need to aim with a lot of brawlers, and especially in a lot of situations where you're not right up on somebody. Sometimes I do wish that auto aim didn't exist, but that's not really a topic anymore that people talk about. Nobody really wants auto aim to be removed. I wouldn't even want it removed. But yeah, what made Brawl Stars really special to me at the time and even now is how a mobile game was able to be this polished, where sometimes when I'm talking to people who don't really know what I'm playing for my channel, they ask like, what game is it? And then they ask like if it's on Steam or something, because they can't even tell that it's a mobile game at first glance. It doesn't even look like one at first glance. Like, if you look at other mobile games, usually they have like really scuffed graphics and animations depending on what game it is. I'm not going to point out any game in specific, but a lot of mobile games do have scuffed graphics. Like, I think that even League of Legends has pretty scuffed visuals, and Brawl Stars just doesn't. Somehow they managed to make a really polished game that also runs at 60 FPS, or even on some devices like 120 FPS, which I can't even get because I don't have the right device, but apparently that's possible. So for the first time, I felt like I was playing a PC game on my phone. Never before did I really feel that. Maybe with like Clash Royale, but even then it's like a vertical game, so it doesn't really feel that PC-ish. But when I got Brawl Stars, I immediately felt a connection with the gameplay itself, the brawlers. When I got Crow, I was so excited because even back then I knew how rare that was, and it might have been even more rare back then. And for me, or at least when I was, you know, younger, whenever I would get something super rare in a game that I really enjoyed, I would stick around. It happened with Clash Royale when I got the Ice Wizard in the first arena. It was available free to play, and it happened to me with Brawl Stars when I got Crow right away free to play. It was crazy. This game straight up was such a saving grace for me for those years where I didn't have many other games to play, especially online games. This was like one of the only ones, and that was just, it was such a saving grace that this game came out, because I would have been so bored if I only had like 1 or 2 games that weren't really that interactive to play on my phone. I ended up getting so hooked on this game that I started playing Clash Royale less, Clash of Clans less, and I still play them every once in a while, but never as much as I used to. I was so hooked on this game because it was just my favorite game to play. I made so much progression on the game that I felt like I didn't want to stop, nor did I even want to stop playing because I thought the gameplay was really unique. Updates were coming out all the time. Every time a new update came out, especially in the beginning, I was so excited, and I still am. Obviously, it's a different feeling now that I'm making content on the game. It feels more like a job, but I'm still enjoying the game, so it's not like that different, but it's different in the sense where back then I was literally doing the exact same thing that most of you are doing right now, is you're just playing the game and then suddenly boom, update, oh, sneak peeks, oh, I gotta watch all this, oh, it's so cool, instead of now where I have to like look at all this stuff. It's like, oh, look at all this new stuff, all right, time to edit this for 5 hours and then prepare the video and make sure that it's gonna do well. It's obviously different in that way, but it still was a really good feeling when I was just playing the game, not making exact content on it, and I was just enjoying the ride with the game. That's still what I'm trying to do at this point, but I can't as much. It's whatever. I still love the game, so it doesn't really change that much. But back in my high school days, ranging from like junior year to senior year, maybe a bit earlier as well, I don't know the specifics, but I was watching Kairos, Lex, Ray, Coach Corey, and a couple other YouTubers religiously, like every single day. Sometimes when there were sneak peeks coming out before school, my friends and I would post up in the lunchroom, and then we would put a sneak peek video on and we would all watch it at once. Or if we all saved boxes, we would open them all at once at the table. And once I had some boxes prepared, I think it was my account, and I handed my phone to some random kid that walked by, and I was like, here, tap this, and then he did, and it pulled Tara, and I don't think I had Tara on my main account. Like, I think that was a main account Tara pull, and I was like, wait, give me that. What? Tara, what? So like that happened all the time, and anytime a friend got a brawler that nobody else had, everybody would like resent them for a few days, but then they'd be like, can I play on your phone to play that brawler? Like, one of my friends got Mortis, and I really wanted to play Mortis, and then I got Spike, and he really wanted to play Spike. So then I'd let him play on my phone to play Spike, and then he would play on my phone to play Mortis, and then we play together because we just really wanted to play those brawlers. I would play Brawl Stars in class instead of listening a lot, which I guess in the long run was a good thing because now it's my job. I was not a good student for the most part. I had specific things that I wanted to do with my time, and I just did that. Like, I didn't fail high school at all. I failed one class in total for my entire time in school, so it wasn't that bad, but sometimes I would somehow still pass, but also either do YouTube notes or just play Brawl Stars for like the entire class. This is not good advice. Do not do that. Do not do what I did. I just think that Supercell did such an incredible job with making a mobile game of this aspect actually good, because that is such a rare thing to see. I still don't think there's another game like this on mobile. Even League of Legends mobile is not polished to the point that Brawl Stars is. The controls are not polished. The graphics are not as polished. This game has really smooth edges. Everything actually looks HD. You can zoom in and it looks pretty HD, especially as time goes on. Models are getting more and more high definition, and somehow there's no FPS drops, at least if you're playing on a relatively newer device. Maybe if you're playing on like a 10-year-old device, and yeah, you'll see some lag, but I've never really had insane lag on this game besides when it was in beta and the servers were doo-doo because there weren't servers in my country, because I was playing on a Canadian Apple ID and I lived in the US. That aside, there was no FPS lag. This is a game that I did not take a break from, even within the 3 years where I wasn't even making content on it consistently. Like 5 years ago, I'm pretty sure I made like a couple videos on this game because I really enjoyed it, and I also made videos on Clash Royale, but they weren't that consistent. And then as I graduated high school, or a little bit before that, I started spam posting Brawl Stars because I was like, whoa, dude, I enjoy this game so much and I want to post videos on it. So then I posted so many videos on this game, I think for over an entire year, almost daily, and I got literally no results, but I still did it because I really enjoyed the game. Like, I finally found the game that I want to make content on daily, and I can. And that was definitely like a special thing for me because that was hard for me to find. I loved Minecraft so much, but I couldn't find myself making daily videos for it because I didn't have the right ideas, or maybe I just didn't want to sometimes. But Brawl Stars has been a game that I have wanted to make videos on all of the time. I always have ideas for it. And yes, there are some days where I'm just feeling tired and I don't want to make videos, but that would happen no matter what game I'm playing. Like, everybody wants a break every once in a while. And yeah, sometimes I want to branch out to another game. If I were to like full-time branch out to another game, I would get so lost because there's no game that I would have daily ideas for quite like Brawl Stars. Like, I do have another channel where I post other games, but I can't even think of ideas to post there daily. I just can't. This video was a whole bunch of me just rambling about the game and how it affected me or whatever, but what really did make it special to me? I want to answer that question specifically right now. I think the way it's ran by the community managers and the devs or whatever else is really good. I think it's been good for the longest time. I think the game itself is very smooth, which is important, and I think it looks very good, which is important, and I think it plays well, which is very important. Those three things are rare to see in a mobile game, and it's really what hooked me from the very beginning of the game. There are consistent updates. That's pretty rare for any game. Some games barely get any updates. I don't think that many people realize that, but some games rarely get updates. This game gets updates all the time. This game is extremely community driven, and I was a big part of that back in like the old Reddit days when that was a much smaller thing. And overall, this game gave me something to do and something to play in a time where I really needed it, and it just stuck with me. So if Brawl Stars is special to you in any way specific, then let me know in the comment section, especially if it's special for you in a different way than it was for me. There is more that I could say, but I don't want to drag this on too long. I don't want to hold you guys more than you need to be held. So yeah, let me know any reason that it's special to you. And with that being said, I'll see you later. Have a good night, guys.